Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here on Thursday, just before noon, for a new show. So this has been a long time coming. For those of you who don't know, I finished up Revolutionary Girl Utena a number of weeks ago, almost a month ago now. There's been some weird stuff going on because I've had trouble getting the Adolescence movie up on YouTube. It keeps getting blocked for, like, stuff that I included in the discussion, so I'll get it out eventually. But, when Utena ended, I said that I was going to not pull for a new show for that slot because I was going to make an executive decision on that slot because since like halfway through Banana Fish, one of the first shows that I did on the channel, people were requesting Modauzushi, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. They've been requesting it. I'm amenable to it. I want to watch it, but I haven't had the time or the slot, and haven't had it right. Until now. So, yeah, now we've got the slot, and I'm making the executive decision. I'm putting Modauzushi in this Thursday slot. So look forward to Thursdays. We'll be doing Modauzushi weekly. Should be doing one episode per week. They are longer than normal standard episode lengths. They're like 35 minutes or so. I think all of them are. At least the first one is. Let me check really quickly and just make sure they're all like consistent lengths. Oh, no, they change in length. So the first two are 35 minutes, and then they drop down. I'm going to just Google, like, Modauzushi pilot. I'm just trying to determine whether the first two episodes are, like, one thing. Doesn't seem to be. They seem to be one episode per. So whatever. The first two are 35 minutes long. The rest are more like 24 minutes long. I was wondering if, like, maybe I was going to make a mistake and the first two are meant to be watched as one, but it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like I should just watch one, and so that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that was a waste of time. I'll try and trim that in post a little bit. So, Modauzushi. I know very little about this. I know that it's a Chinese production. I know that it's the same people who did The King's Avatar. Same studio. Which I watched some of and kind of fell off of. It just wasn't super interesting, but the production on it was generally pretty good. I remember that. I've heard whispers and little rumblings about the show. I've heard that it looks really good. That it's kind of a breakout hit for the Chinamation side of things. I'm not super familiar with Chinese animation stuff. Not super familiar at all. I expect that it'll be a little bit different, a little bit weird to be listening to Chinese instead of Japanese, but I'm sure I'll get used to it soon enough. It will be a little bit different because I can comprehend a good chunk of Japanese. I can't speak much, but I can understand more than I can speak. Most people can with most languages that they don't really know. So usually when I'm watching anime, I'm understanding a lot of what's coming in, and then the subs are like confirmation and the easier way to get to that information. That's not going to be possible for this because it's all in language that I don't understand at all. I'm using the Godong subs version. I couldn't find any other version that looked good. These look good. Okay, easy peasy. I don't know much else about the show. Really, I'm like as blind as a bat. Ever since people started recommending it, I've just been staying away. I assume that there's something supernatural, just given the title, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. It's also like there's an addendum to the title as well, like founder of some sect of something. I don't know. Okay, cool. Chinese animated series. Supernatural and demons and stuff. I've heard whispers that there might be some mild, like, homoerotic, homodachi stuff, as, like, undertones. Alright, cool. Whatever. I mean, I watched Banana Fish. I don't mind. Do I have anything else I want to talk about? No. I want to stop wasting time and start watching Modauzushi, and I'm sure you do too. So let's do that. I'll do a full little spiel here at the beginning. So every week I'll make one video. I'll put it out on Thursday. And then on the Thursday when it comes out on YouTube, there will be the next episode come out on Patreon that day. It'll come out a week early for early access, so you can go and get it if you want to. You can also sign up for Patreon and get access to Discord to chat with me and a bunch of other people about stuff. Sure, do that. It's a place you could do that. there will be multiple versions of each reaction video in the series. So there will be a picture-in-picture version with the video inset up here in the corner, and you can find that in the description each time for every video. Okay. And then there will be a timer-based version up on YouTube, and that will have any discussion that I decide to do after the episode at the end. And it'll have a beep beep timer at the beginning to sync up with your own media if that's what you want to do. A little mechanical timer that syncs it up with the exact frame that it starts playing on my screen. So if you're playing along on your screen, you can hit the button and then it's right on. It'll go boop, 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 beep. And on the beep and the green light is the exact frame that Modazushi starts playing on my screen. So if you're playing along, that's probably when you want to do that. And the reason for that is just copyright. I can put the picture-in-picture versions on Mega and BitChute, and so that's what I'll do. And then I'll crop it down to just the subtitles at the bottom of the screen down there on the timer version, and I'll have the timer over there in the corner. And then at the end, we'll do discussion and like run through the episode and look at maybe frame by frame stuff if there's cool stuff to frame by frame. One thing I need to do is I need to make sure that my notes are accessible. They're kind of covered in stuff right now, so I'll be with you in a moment. All right, I've got notes accessible. Zapeba. Just chuck that on the floor. Got a pencil. It's got an eraser. It's got some lead in there. All right, we're good to go. Let's stop dilly-dallying, wasting time. I have episode 1 of Modazushi, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, up and ready to go. It is at 0 seconds. There will be, I already said all that about multiple versions. So yeah, if you want to watch the picture-in-picture version, go and get it. Beep beep timer goes here. We're in for a ride. I hope. $0.10? 10 cent. Yeah. That's the studio. Thank you for your translations. What? Okay. When Clan ran rampant. Sunshot campaign. You don't need a war. This is really fast. Fearsome demonic cultivation drew much suspicion, escalating into a malicious plot against him, leaving his reputation in ruins. His dearest Shidi, I don't know what that is, while his mortal self was eradicated. Whoa, what? Mortal self was eradicated from this world. Of a year from a 60-year cycle in a whoa ink blots. Whoa, what the hell? All right, are we gonna be letterboxed the whole time? CG environment. Whoa, that light. Whoa. Full CG. Really fantastic. Looks like a video game cutscene. Or like video game cinematic trailer. And a good one. Oh shit. Whoa. Zombies? Controlled by Flutie Boy? Oh, those are zombies. Okay. Okay. How you fight that? I don't know. I guess you just lose. Full CG. Damn it. Vanquishing the burial mounds? And the 4. Oh. So he's seen as the betrayer. I assume that's not the case. A tiger amulet. Okay. Did it cause that explosion? Looks supernatural. Okay. Hmm. The use of light is just generally stellar. A lot of focus on music and instruments. Is this the opening? Does it have an opening? I don't know. Seems like it. Wow. This is actually nuts. I have never seen CG objects that are stylish like this. Like that bonsai tree was fully CG as far as I can tell, but with drawn textures. So is that a specific clan with the dots? And 2 of them battling across a blade. It's more like a dance than anything. This singer's got a hell of a range. Alright, so 2 characters who seem like they are foils of each other and fated to fight. 13 years later in Mo Village, okay? Doing some spirit stuff. Is that the guy? Mo Zhangyu. Summoning like a demon lord. Oh. So has it come into his body? That would be the thing, right? Ooh, an apple. Oh, kiddos. Ow. A few of your magic tools? Oh, fuck these guys. Head of a cultivator clan. Not anymore. Oh. Huh. Yeah. Ugh. I hate that character. I mean, that archetype. The shit stain, usually effeminate. Holy shit, that was some stuff. Does make it more difficult. I don't know, dude. You do you. I guess this is a character moment. I guess he went for option 2. Beat them up. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Yeah. Just who the hell do you think I am? Yeah. You know, he's just goofing off, having fun. Man, general production is just consistently a few steps above solid. That is the most expressive horse-like creature I've seen in anime in years. This is full CG from far. Neat. And then those are not. Was that them? Oh. Nailed it. Are those people flying? Just casually flying? Whoa. Ah. The other one. Wait, what? Okay. I think what's most notable is the restraint for these dynamic camera movements. Ah. Hello. Okay. Hid my stuff away? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, no. Uh-huh. Just a couple. I believe him. Hmm. Okay. I don't know. I think you're doing a pretty good job so far. Hmm. Yeah. And he intended to. Hmm. Oh. 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 Hello, cousin. Uh-huh. Sure. Why do I get the feeling you're gonna get yourself eaten by zombies? You'll make a few meals at least. It's a joke because he's fat. See, like restraint in dynamic camera motions. It's there, but it's never distracting. Oh. Maybe go inside. Or walk down the steps closer to the creepy thing. Please be the first to die. Find yourself a little corpse. Little nice corpsey boy. Maybe go inside. Something's behind you. Or that. Just that. Hi. What? I didn't kill him. I assume he was just checking him out. Oh. I didn't actually recognize the corpse. Uh-oh. Ah, the distinctive birthmark. No denying it now, lady. That's your boy. And blame falls on... Oh, what he said about the arm. Shit, and that's just gonna incriminate him. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. This a bad. This a big bad. They said that she's the head of a cultivator family, right? Or no? Hmm. Hmm. Somebody did want him dead. Makes sense. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, what? No. I love his fourth wall breaks. Yeah, he seems pretty adult to me. Stay inside. Don't touch the shit. Don't go anywhere near the shit. I don't know, dude. Was he gonna do that to him? Use the spirit lure flag to kill him? I'll bet it was. It was Ayuan's own plot that turned against him. Oh. Oh. Wow. Yeah. Lady, shut the fuck up. That. Yeah. Yeah. That's a big arm. So now we get to see just how badass he is while he pretends to be an idiot. I assume to be as loud as possible and keep its attention. Oh, oh, uh, It's a nice spook. The others? The white headband guys? Yeah. Was that a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon reference? I feel like it might have been. Alright. Pretty lovely fight choreography. I like that they don't feel the need to cut quick constantly. Spirit getting sucked out or something? I don't know. Alright, lady, do you get it now? There be demons. Flesh and energy were both drawn out. Hmm. It's a cool little trick. Hmm. Which is him. Okay. Well. Okay. Good thing help is already here. Hmm. If that old acquaintance shows up, let's search each other. Hmm. Oh. All healed? So 3 lives? There have only been 2, though. Yeah. Was already dead. Holy shit. You mean she was dead before? Holy shit. Does that one have extra hands? Bruh. Ah. Ah, not that again. I got this. Put a mark on him with his foot? That's some master level stuff. Just casually. Just chilling. Oh, incantations on the robe. Ooh, cool piece of soundtrack. Oh, we've seen that before. We got the fluting. Use demon to fight a demon. Okay. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, nah. He's too weird and goofy. Oh shit. She recognizes him. Hmm. I don't know what choices are at your disposal, but I'm excited to see what you come up with. You said the long drawn out twang for that. Is this the old acquaintance? Because this instrument is featured in the OP and a couple of other places. I assume so. That one white lock. Oh, it's not a white lock. It's a Shot. that's the end. Okay. So, this show's been hyped up to me for a good while as being visually pretty stunning and really intriguing. I gotta say, I think it hit the mark. I am not disappointed. This was pretty visually stunning. A lot of new techniques and stuff here. A lot of really interesting stuff. So I think the first thing that I want to mention is the use of CG because it's pervasive. It's like throughout. There are almost no cuts that have no like purely digital elements in them. Almost every cut has something that's entirely CG or purely digital, often the backgrounds or the space or just the stuff being used for dynamic camera movement or the post processing. Like lots and lots and lots of stuff in this show is CG to the point where I don't think it matters. The CG that is used is so good in and of itself. Like it's so well done, and then beyond that, it's so integrated into the aesthetic of the show that it's all just the show. There's no real point in doing what I normally do, which is like trying to figure out when and where CG is being used to what effect and to what end. And there are some interesting examples of that kind of stuff. Like here, when we pan over this big ass village, like, well, okay, first off, he goes down the hill in 2D, and then he comes out the other end in CG. Right there. Yeah, that's a CG model. Don't ask me how I can tell. I don't know, but I am 99.99% sure that's a CG model. And when you open on this city, these walking figures are all CG models as well. You can see it in the swish of their robes. It's just a little off. And the fact that their walk cycles are all super consistent. But then when we come into this next shot, I assume that these are digital background, but the people are all 2D. So at a certain point, it's all so close and so uniform that it really doesn't matter, that it all looks good. And just like in general, just generally the show looks really stellar. Hell, it was evident from the very, very beginning with the light. I think it's one of the first things we see once the episode opens. Yeah, we open on a bunch of lights, and so these are all CG. Then what we have is like we've got like it seems to be genuinely illuminating the space where it falls. You see that? Like light is not on the leaves. Light on his leg, and then down onto the leaves. And then it shudders when it bounces. There's a lot of care in the post-processing and making it all of the lighting effects and stuff look super consistent. Like making characters look like they fit their backgrounds, all of that kind of important stuff. All right, VLC just froze, so thanks VLC. Lots of really good just general consistency and style. But then there's the other thing, which is that if you're using all this tech, it's real easy, and we see it all the time, to go overboard and get handshakers, right? Where the camera's nauseatingly mobile and just like moving all over the place. When they do use dynamic camera, it's usually for a specific effect. I think there's a big pullout here. Yeah. No, I guess not. I'm wrong. Okay, I thought there was a big camera like dolly back or pull out on that scene, but I guess not. So then let's talk about story. There's some things here that are a little bit confusing, like the cuts on his arm, but they ended up making sense eventually. So the general gist that I get is we have our guy, main boy, is powerful sorcerer type guy in the past. One of the founders of the whole demonic cultivation thing. So he's the ancient grandmaster. And he gets deadified, but his spirit like moves off of this mortal coil. And then 13 years later, this guy, living his hellish life, makes does this forbidden ritual to offer his own body to get this specific guy from history who's not that well known. And I get the feeling like the other clans have like covered up his involvement in all of the histories more to, take more credit for themselves. Calls him back, and now he is inhabiting this random guy's body, who happens to be like a bastard prince, kind of. That's the sort of feeling that I get. He's a member of a wealthy or well-off clan leader type family, but is not respected by them. Okay. Then we get some characterization. So I think it's important that he wakes up with goofy makeup on. I think it informs how we see this character as he moves forward a little bit. But he is very much someone else in this guy's body. But he leans so far into the insane goofiness. It's almost, actually, you know what performance it reminds me of more than anything? It reminds me of Captain Jack Sparrow, the original performance of Jack Sparrow. That sort of like wacky wavy, inflatable arm flailing two-man goofiness, and then just like on my way to do whatever I want to do, and just sort of going with the flow as you get there, and always having a way out or into whatever situations you want in or out of. Making friends along the way. This is a super expressive donkey. Just shout outs to the donkey animation. It's some hype donkey animation. Look at that. Look at that. That's a tsundere donkey. And it's dope. Okay, so we enter town. Lots of stuff. And he's messing with things. Grabs some booze out of the air like Jack Sparrow. Come on. This is Chinese Jack Sparrow right there. And then we got these guys floating around. So they were sort of foreshadowed by the shadows, literal foreshadowing, that fly above them here. Whoosh, whoosh. And then later we just see them sort of awkwardly floating through the sky. All right. Okay. This shot in particular, this one, was stunning. And like, why? Why is that shot so good? Okay. I think there are a number of things that make this so stellar. One is that the reflectivity of the gold or brass, like, scent diffuser thing that they're using here, the reflectivity of it is perfect. It looks real. It's obviously not, but it looks right. And it matches all the other stuff in the area. I believe that there's a light source back over this way, or like over this way from where you're looking at the video. I believe it. And I believe that smoke is coming out of it. But then, I think what's more important to making this scene feel legitimate is the angle and the motion as we move the camera around in a little arc around this thing. The relative motion of this thing, the table that it's resting on, and the background. And I just want to look here. I don't see any motion on the woman. Oh, there is actually. It might just be the fuzziness that we're coming into focus, but just focusing on this little section here, it looks like the hem of her robe gets a little bit closer to the edge, as though it's moving in tandem. I don't think so. I think it's just the fuzziness. But then there's also an easing, right? So our motion slows down as we get to the end of this. So it feels like we click into place as the background portion comes into focus. And this section with the incense burner goes out of focus. It's really, really clever. It's cute. We get similar stuff in these other slight sliding frames. Here's a big, bombastic, dynamic camera motion. But it's not. It's slow and smooth. All it does is cross over this archway. We could have just gone straight through it, but instead we go up, over, and through it. Break our line of sight with Ahyuan, or whatever his name is. He would be a very promising cultivator. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. He's a piece of shit. So, yeah, he's running around, messing around, being a goofball. Love the way he runs. It's like he's punching behind him. He's got a different run when he goes back the other way. What a goof. What a goof. So then they have a moment. Just a little moment here. What a strange fate. So, as I said, I get the feeling that the other clans have like buried his role in their history a little bit, which is interesting. And then there are all these other interesting things, like he's hyper knowledgeable about all the spirit stuff, but he can't show that knowledge too freely, otherwise people are going to suspect him. And he wants to remain anonymous. So he's almost got like a secret identity thing going on, which is pretty cool. And it works perfectly because he's doing this he's playing this role of the goofball, total doofus. I guess in part because that's who he is, and in part probably because the first things that he heard about this body he is now inhabiting are he's a lunatic. So he's playing it up. Yeah, I love this little moment that he has looking at himself in the water. How do I act like a lunatic anyway? But he's been doing a pretty good job. Okay, so this offering ritual was long lost, right? I never haunted the living or sought revenge. The cultivation clans wanted me dead, but they see no problem in putting my inventions to use. They're probably gonna use themselves as bait. You're gonna be so dead tonight. We never do get a reveal on exactly what happened demon-wise. I guess that'll be for next episode. Here's another example of a dynamic camera movement that actually is pretty technically impressive. Look at the lines of edge lighting on the face and hair and top of the shirt, and how they change with every frame as we move around this corner. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty cool stuff. So then he does the horror movie thing. We get another example of lighting. Really, really great. We don't actually see that until that moment. And everything goes to shit. Everything goes crazy. Crazy bonkers. Crazy not so bonkers. So, when does he notice that the arm... okay. Has changed. So then he says something. Only 2 cuts remain. 3 cuts for 3 lives, as I presumed. Suffered the consequences of stealing the flag. But Spirit Lure flag is my invention. The offering contract acquiesced that I took Mo Jiwon's life. What an odd coincidence. Okay. So, to do something based like on about the ritual, like there's a cost to the ritual. So to sustain himself, he has to take human lives. 3 of them. I'm gonna guess that that's what this is. Like, in order to make him bond to this body or whatever, he has to make sacrifices of 3 people. And because he is the original inventor of the flag, even though he did not intend to kill that guy at all, the fact that that guy was killed by a thing that he invented counts as a technicality for the cuts things. So it makes one of them go away. That's my guess. I don't know. And then when the other 2 die, the other 2 cuts go away. So I guess by the end of this episode, he's all stable and bonded to this body. If that's what it is. I'm guessing that's what it is. More interesting dynamic camera. I think what's interesting here is that like they've gone and they've individually modeled these blades of grass and like all this stuff that we move through give us the feeling of a predator stalking prey. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then we get into the fight scene proper. Lots of spinning camera. Not in a bad way. Just lots of big, we're going to sweep the camera around the scene as things happen. This moment, I think, is potentially a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon reference, the jumping on the sword, but maybe not. We move out a ways to do a full CG section of fighting. Really punchy. Then we come in close for a swooshy battle fight. Pretty cool. Great, great effects added in post. Really, really noticeably good. And then shit gets realer than real, and he's like bouncing around doing important stuff. They fire up this signal, and he's a little miffed by that. He's not happy about the idea of an old friend or an old previous acquaintance arriving. And then the final boss is revealed, and it's the Madam. So we go back to big swooshy spinny fights. And they're big and they're swooshy and pretty cool. They try and do a thing, it doesn't work. So he tries to do a thing with using the other zombies, and they fight, and it's really awesome. Hell, look at the way the hair moves throughout. Oh man, great key animation, just cool. Also solid choreography. I can always tell what's going on, except when it devolves into like truly crazy spinny stuff, and then you're not supposed to understand what's going on. At that point, it doesn't matter. You just drink in the spectacle. Like that. That's a cool camera motion. Matched with the animation to really accent that throw. Really cool. Neato burrito. So then he's thinking about other options, other things that I can do, but no worries. Lanjan or Wang Ji is here. He's here. And I believe that in the ED we see the two of them right there. I think that's Langjan or Wang Ji or whatever, and then that's our main boy. That's a guess. I don't actually know. I know there is a white-robed character who's a major character. We see him in the OP, but I'm not sure if that's one of the boys from this episode, or if that's the older boy, or what. All in all, this is a cool first episode. There's also something worth talking about in terms of just like the way this story is being told and paced out. It doesn't seem to feel the need to rush anything or over-explain anything, and I really appreciate that. It's demonstrating a lot of interesting aspects of this magic system and of the, introducing us to the politics of this world using what is essentially a fish out of water character, a character who has some passing knowledge of the area and history, but because of his reincarnation and 13 years of absence, doesn't really understand the way that things are right now, and so we get to learn it as he does. And we don't need to understand everything, we just need to understand the important stuff, as does he. So that's pretty perfect. I like the start in the past, flash forward, beginning. It's a pretty classic, pretty standard way of doing things, but it gives us this really potent air of mystery, and it lets us know, it makes sure that we're not really confused in the beginning with the whole summoning ritual, which could have been really confusing, I think, if it was written a little bit worse, a little bit less well. All around, I don't know where this is gonna go. I mean, I expect that our boy is going to have to interact with these Lan Clan guys a lot more. Lan Clan guys a lot more. But I don't really know. He's just been summoned into this world. We don't really have a goal for him or any specific things that he desires. And we don't know enough about the world to know if there's any great injustice that must be righted. It doesn't seem like he pulls anything from his past that he wants to accomplish, like any specific, I'm back and now I'm going to finally continue my mission to take over the world. It doesn't seem like that's a thing. He's just here now and dealing with it. So that's interesting. Maybe we'll have more of a flat or passive protagonist, and so the story ends up kind of happening to him, and just by his existence as this Grand Master, he inevitably causes ripples and changes the world. It's possible. Many ways that this can go. There hasn't been like a what felt like an introduction of a constant cast. At this point, I would be willing to expect anybody except main boy to just up and die. Nobody has made themselves matter yet. Clearly, guy who appeared at the end of this episode matters, and clearly at least one of the two white bandana boys is important. But clearly this family wasn't. Rip. Get wrecked. Yeah, I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm really interested to find out. The production is stellar. Super worth watching just for that. Music is great. For a couple of times, the music was like, whoa, this is cool. Especially when the fight scenes really kicked in. Some hype stuff in there. A lot of traditional instruments used to accent that hype, and I think I like it. Interesting characters, some strong characterization just in this first episode. You know, to call him a Jack Sparrow alike is high praise. Jack Sparrow is a really unique and interesting character, and the reason for one of the most successful film franchises in recent memory. That all goes on his shoulders, right? On that original character's shoulders. There's depth to that type of pretending to be dumber than you are character. There's something about rooting for a protagonist like that that's just right, that I really enjoy. Anyway, I think we're heading into wrap up territory, about the point where it's probably time to wrap this up, because I've talked about it for about the length of the episode. Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm not surprised by how good Modazushi is, but if I hadn't been hyped up about it, I would have been surprised by how good this episode was if I just watched it on a whim. I'd probably end up making a video like, you guys gotta watch Modazushi. It's so good. Because it is. This is really good. Thank you to everybody who requested that I watch it. Sorry that it took so long. Glad to be doing it now. Anyway, I do think that's about good for me. So, I've been Teeaboo. This has been Modazushi, episode 1. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week in the next one. If you want next week's episode a week early, you can get it over on Patreon, along with other stuff, so check that out if you want to, and I'll see you there. Peace.